Yeah, we've been on a good run here with our one loss being to the number 4 team in the country at their place in a heck of a battle.
14 double-doubles, yes.
I just think we've been really resilient and we've showed a lot of pride as a team.
I love where our guys are at right now mentally. I love where we're at physically. The healthiest we've been all year without a question.
And it's definitely been physically demanding in every way, shape, and form on my body.
Attacking with the left hand.
We understood what our deficiencies were and what our issues were, and we set out to correct those, and I think we have.
Our guys are in a great spot, and we always say to our guys, when your mind is right, your game is right.
And that's why we're playing much better.
I wouldn't trade it for anything, and for us to be able to have another 20-win season has been worth every drop of blood, sweat.
When your mind gets cluttered with whatever it is, fatigue or feeling sorry for yourself or whatever it might be, then that often reflects on the floor in terms of your production, or maybe not being as good as a teammate as you want, or just making maybe some uncharacteristic mistakes that you don't normally make.
Yeah, me and Nemish, we just try not to get in each other's ways on the rebounds because we both know we're great rebounders. And so we've joked around with each other in the locker room before games about, just if there's a rebound that goes up, whoever's closest to it, they get it, it's theirs. And so we try not to fight over rebounds, and honestly, it just builds a good bond between us.
Well, I don't know about the agreement, although I did hear a little scuttlebutt in the locker room last night after the game, but I've been coaching I believe 24 years, 9 as a head coach. And certainly both those guys are elite rebounders and very different players, but elite rebounders.
He's definitely like a brother to me, and I look up to him a lot physically as well as in a lot of other ways. So we have a good relationship, and rebounding is something that definitely strengthens that. So
we took care of the little things and the winning things.
But both those guys are relentless with their effort. They get along fantastic. I think there's the ultimate respect from Nemi to Bean and Bean to Nemi. And they respect each other's, how they approach the game, their mindset, and certainly their tenacity on the floor.
Probably say that when I'm on the court, I love to live in the moment. And when the fans are just cheering me on and the herd is as loud as ever, it's something that I just feed off of. And so I try and give back that same energy that they give to me on rebounds and hustle plays and scoring. And when I make plays like that and I just hear the crowd go wild, and it's something that I wouldn't trade for anything, and I just really do build off of that in every way, on offense and defense.
Justin, in that last time you talked, he'd never been injured before. He'll never use an excuse, but he was hobbled pretty bad. And when we struggled in those 8 days, and it was a combination of Sam being really hurt with an ankle. Bean, his ankle was like a parachute. He probably shouldn't have even been playing, but he was. And Nemi wasn't playing. So those are 3 really good players that are, not in very good health. But they grinded it out, although struggled and weren't up to their capabilities. But Bean, 14 double-doubles is unbelievable. Of course, 20 and 14 last night. And he's just a relentless passion for the game, works incredibly hard, and obviously has a big-time motor and nose for the ball. I call him the Tasmanian Devil from the Looney Tunes, the Bugs Bunny deal, that guy that just spins all over the place. He's got a little bit of that to him. So he's just been a pleasure to coach, and the sky's the limit for him.
Well, there's been a lot of bruises, absolutely. I've had to see our trainer, Carl, numerous times this season, but he's been great about just helping me get back on my feet. And again, our coaches do a great job of just making sure that we're staying in the gym or getting recovery or lifting weights, but we're not doing too much. And so it's been really, really humbling just to see kind of everyone come together in that regard and just be smart with how they're taking care of themselves. So I definitely do have a lot of bruises. It's kind of my stigma, I guess, but again, it's something that is worth it all when we see a win on that scoreboard or we see our teammates, doing well.
I think every player goes through moments where they're feeling down or discouraged, and I've certainly had those throughout my career, and every time that's happened, Coach Smith has done a really good job of making sure that I keep my confidence up and that I continue to be a good leader and a good player for this team.
It's not, we're forcing right. You're not thinking vertical rules where you're inviting 22 in there. Because to their fine man, right? The guy coming is whoever's in the low hole.
Offensively, we've been really sharp with our plays and just knowing where they're going to be at, and also getting rebounds. That's something we've done a great job of, and nationally we're one of the top teams in rebounding. So we definitely pride ourselves in that, and it's shown on the floor these last couple of weeks.
And every time you turned around, there was like, what's next? You know, with mainly with injuries. And that's just part of the deal. Like, that's college basketball, it's college athletics, that's pro, that's all of sports. And so you got to appreciate every moment you have because there's no guarantee for tomorrow.
And it's something I definitely hope that we can continue as the season goes and as future seasons continue to just build that winning tradition. And I'm looking forward to what this team has in store for the rest of the year.
I saw a shirt by Lamar Jackson, obviously the reigning MVP in the NFL, and it was late in the NFL season. And I just love the saying, and it said, "Nobody cares, work harder." And we ended up getting those shirts for our guys, and because it is that time of year where everyone's beat up, you're banged up, you practice for about 5-6 weeks before you even start playing games, and now you're on that final stretch, and it'd be like running a 10,000 meter race, and you run so far for so long. You got to finish that thing with a flourish. Are you going to finish strong through the finish line, or are you just going to kind of, only got 2 laps left and just kind of saunter in? And why would you do that?
It was super exciting. Most of us had no idea until they announced it, because we were a little behind the whole meet until floor, and I don't think we were really focused on beating them. We were kind of just focused on doing what we did in practice, and so it was super exciting, and I still am shocked about how well we did.
We all knew it was really close going into the last event, and then we tried not to look at the scores though, so I don't know, it was definitely a surprise.
Before I was going, I didn't know that if I did good, we could win it. I had no idea. I just went out there and had fun, did what I do every day in practice, and it pays off.
It was super exciting to beat SUU and to beat Boise as well.
No idea. Wade comes over and he's like, "Oh, look at the score sheet." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, 196.45. I thought we'd be like a 196.075 or 196.675. That was my prediction for the meet." And I'm like, yeah. He's like, no, that's Southern score. Our score's on this side. And I was like, oh, we beat them. Okay. So that was fun. Well, you're only as good as your last performance, but in that same breath, I'm really, what's been so cool is watching the girls come back each week and be inspired to get better. Keep talking to them about being intentional and what they're doing in practice, and we're starting to see that. And then when we start to see it in practice, it starts to show up in competition. And it's just been really inspiring to watch them be so motivated and actually realize, oh wait, yeah, we can be great.
I'm Autumn D. Hardy. I do beam, floor, and ball.
I'm Leighton Marnador, and I do all around.
My name's Sophie Sullivan, and I compete all around.
I'm Carly Bales, and my event is balance beam. I feel like my strength has for sure been coming into the lineups whenever they needed me, and being able to put up a beam routine that we needed. So I feel like being able to just hop in the lineups whenever they asked me to, like, was something that I think would be my strength, I would say.
Carly is absolutely gorgeous. She has a dance background, and so when she's up on beam, she looks like she's 8 feet tall to begin with. She's got legs that just go for days. And her movement up there is so fluid. Nobody else on the team moves like her. And it's long and beautiful, and like I said, there's a fluidity to her that really sets her apart, which is beautiful to watch.
I don't really look at it as carrying that much weight for the team. I kind of just take it like event by event and focus on like my job on that event, and then once that's over, like forget about it, go on to the next one.
Layton is such a lead by example gymnast. She's such a workhorse, and we always joke and say that she's like the Terminator. Like nothing can take that kid down. Like she's amazing, and her work ethic is just on another level of what she does. And she's just kind of quiet, and she just does it. And yeah, that's Layton.
A very serious competitor, so it's fun to see her let loose a little bit on this event.
Was that a smile or more of a
I like ball. I didn't do ball my freshman year, and then sophomore and junior year I've been doing it, and I don't know, it's come pretty easy to me too.
I had no idea that was what we needed. I never know until they put up the scores at the very end and in awards, really. So, part of this team means family. Make the leap, which is our hashtags this year actually. We're making the leap, no excuses, like there's a job to be done. Yeah, we're getting that done.
Oh God, no, I let it fly. Her and I are always cutting up with each other and just being goofy, and once again, it comes back to like, she's gotta be herself, and if she's being herself and being goofy, then we're getting the best out of them that we can get, so that's the goal. So yeah, her and I are always going back and forth.
I set the beam record here. I got a 9975, so I got 110 and then I got 1995. I think that bars has definitely become a close second, which is crazy because it used to be my least favorite event, but coming here, I really progressed at it, and I'm really starting to love it.
Soph she's such a fierce competitor. She loves to compete, and she's like what I said, I just get out of her way. I don't need to coach her up a lot. I just got to tell her to slow down and kind of let her loose. So yeah, and just a natural beamer.
Just calm, confident movement, and do what you do in practice every single day. We all get along so well. We're like best friends, and I think that's really exciting because in order to have a good team, you all really need to get along. So it's really good that we have that.
Our sisterhood kind of comes in because we're from all over, and we all come together and we make this family and this team, and we all support each other. So if we ever need anything, we know that we can go to our teammates and they'll have our backs.
I think the most fun change for me coming here is having so many teammates. From club, it's kind of more individualized, and there's not as many girls at your level, but coming here and having 20 other girls to support you and push you, that's the best part for me.
We are a family, we are sisters. Everyone is so supportive in everything that everyone does, and it really helps us especially get through competitions if we're struggling or if we're expecting better results out of our gymnastics, that kind of thing.
It's been really cool as a coach to come in each week, and it's not okay guys, let's get going. It's excited to get in here with them and get better.
Go Aggies.
Go Aggies!
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that it's winding down, especially me as a senior. It's been a great 4 years to this point, and this year's been fun as well. Got off to a really good start as a team, and then went through a little tough stretch, but since then we've been playing really good and really well, and I feel like right now we're playing our best basketball, so hopefully we can continue to grow here at the end of the season and make a strong run in March.
Sam, legendary figure, no question, at Utah State, surpassing 2,000 points, almost unheard of. The 4th all-time leading scorer in Mountain West Conference history, and I think he can still eclipse a couple more guys. Number 3 all-time scorer at Utah State, while at the same time being the all-time, while being number 2 all-time in assists. Imagine that. You're the 3rd all-time leading scorer in the history of Utah State, and you have the 2nd most assists in the history of Utah State. It's almost unheard of.
My name is Sam Merrill. I'm a senior, and I play guard here at Utah State. I love playing here. I'm not quite as emotional as Justin, but I love playing at home, and every team likes playing at home, but I think there's something different here where it's so hard for teams to play well here because 1, we play really well here as a team, and 2, the crowd is always right on top of the other teams. And
this place is an amazing place.
It's always loud in here, and they know when we need their help and when they need to get louder and need to help us out. So it's a blessing to play here in the Spectrum.
Sam has cracked 2,000 points, and I don't know that the kid in 4 years has taken 25 bad shots. I mean, he just makes the right play at the right time all the time. I had to really tell him when we first got here, you know, we were picked 9th last year, right, his junior year. And he would just make the right play over and over and over again. And I would have to say to him, you know what, Sam? Sometimes the right play is for you to take maybe not the perfect shot and maybe a semi-contested shot, because you taking that shot is better than maybe another guy taking a wide open shot. You're that good, right? It'd be like, do you want Michael Jordan to take a tougher shot, or do you want so-and-so, you know, one of his teammates taking a wide open one? And that's, I think we all know the answer to that.
My junior season, last year, everyone talks about how great that game against Nevada was when they were ranked 12th in the country. And that was obviously a great game and the crowd was awesome. But for me, the most special moment at home of my junior season was the game before that against San Diego State, because we hadn't never beaten them since we'd been in the conference. We felt like all the fans were looking ahead maybe a little bit to the Nevada game, but they showed out and it was a great crowd. And there was a moment in the first half where we went on probably a 6 or 7-0 run, and I literally felt like the building was shaking. It was just so loud. That's the loudest I've ever been anywhere. My sophomore year, probably the funnest game was we played Fresno State. I think it was during the Christmas break, so the crowd wasn't as big as it normally is, because that's how it usually is during Christmas. But we were down 10 with about 3 minutes left, and we found a way to come back and tie the game right at the end, and it went into overtime, and we ended up winning that game. And Fresno State was a good team, and that was a really big win for us, so that was really exciting. The crowd helping us out for sure. I'm gonna go with my very first home game, my freshman year. Our first game of the year was on the road, and then we had a home game against NJIT. I think stands for New Jersey Institute of Technology. And they came in, and they're actually a solid team. And I scored 2 points in our first game against UC Irvine, and our first home game, and they, I think, got a little bit of a lead in the second half or made it close. And I ended up scoring 15 points that game, which I wasn't sure I was going to do at all ever. So to be able to do that my second game and my first home game was a lot of fun.
You get hired here 2 years ago. And Sam was one of my first meetings, obviously. He just stands out. you know, and everything he does is everything that we value in a player. Just believe as a head coach, you know, you've been doing this for 24 years, I've had special players and special people, but he's the cream of the crop. And he's just one of those guys that he doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. And he's like that silent assassin, you know, that just, he's gonna do it. And you never doubt that he's gonna do it. And the players know it, and the fans know it, and the coaches know it. And he's just gonna find that way. And he's just a winner in everything he does in life.
I would tell them to just keep working. It's not always gonna be perfect. My first 2 seasons didn't go how I wanted them to. As a team, we weren't as good as I would have liked to be, and nowadays a lot of kids will just, when things don't go their way or when their team's not very good, they'll just transfer. That's the easy thing to do nowadays, is just go somewhere else. But when I committed to Utah State, I felt that commitment, and I really wanted to. I didn't want to be the guy that just leaves and goes and plays for a good team and feels good about it. I wanted to help Utah State get to that next level, and obviously the hiring of Coach Smith was probably the biggest reason that we made that step. But I feel that my hard work has paid off to this point, because I just stuck with it. It wasn't always easy. As long as you keep working hard and do everything you can, then things are usually going to work out your way. Go Aggies!